I know that you're hosting a dinner on August 2nd, basically asking attendees to pay $25,000 to attend, and even more so if they want, of course, a photo.
It's going to be a great
Donald
chicken.
Trump.
It'll be really great chicken for
really
$25.
Not rubber. But how much are you looking to raise here? Are you trying to set any sort of record here when it comes to fundraising?
I think we'll raise over $10 million for the evening. And I mean, what an honor to have President Trump come over the House. We've got really a great crowd will come. I'll probably keep it to 100 people, so because I don't want it to be too big. And it's really, he gets to talk, he gets to meet, and he hosts a round table. So the biggest donors who pay $250,000 sit at a dining room table and spend a half hour just asking him questions and talking. And you know, he needs money, right? It's a race now. It's a hot race now, and you know, Donald Trump needs the fundraising, and I'm trying to help everywhere I can.
To that end, you actually donated to the 2016 Senate campaign for Kamala Harris. How do you think her entrance into this race changes the game?
Well, putting on me what my wife does is not really fair. So my wife.
It's an interesting
that's a balance.
conversation.
You know, there's a good balance. In every marriage, there's a good balance. But my wife actually has moved over to Donald Trump, which is unusual for her because she says Israel is her number one, policy, her number one issue, and she knows that Donald Trump literally sat down with my wife and told her, I will be the best president for Israel, I will protect Israel and take care of them. So, you know, even in my house, we have unanimity around Donald Trump.
And of course, you have big plans at Cantor Fitzgerald with FMX as well. But if Donald Trump were to win, are you angling for a spot in the administration? Would you serve?
You know, the rules are if the president asks you to serve, you kind of have to say yes. I'd rather help him with transition. You know, I'd rather help make sure they put great people in the administration. I mean, that's the most important thing is you have the people around you are smart and capable. So I'm going to offer to help him there. But if he asks, you got to do what the president asks you to do. I'm in love with running Cantor Fitzgerald and BGC, though. I just want to be crystal clear.
Right.
I love
I
what I do.
want a little story time. How did your relationship with Donald Trump develop? And how did you become such kind of a critical part of this fundraising effort?
Well, I've known him for 30 years. I mean, when you're in New York, I've known him for 30 years. If you go back and look at the first season of Celebrity Apprentice, I was a guest appearance.
Oh,
right? So, I mean, I've known him a long time. This isn't like politics, right? I've known him a long time. He's extraordinary. I went with him to a Minnesota rally, okay? And, you know, I didn't know what to expect. I've never been to a rally with him. It's like going to Mick Jagger, Mick Jagger to a rock concert. They're lining the streets, thousands of people lining the streets, 15,000 people in the arena, and 25,000 outside watching on a Jumbotron. And you just can't understand what that feels like. And then when you see it, you're like, holy moly. So they let me introduce J.D. Vance. So I walked out in this rally, right? And they're cheering. It was a rock concert. I felt like a guy like me doesn't usually feel like a rock concert sort of guy. But
Howard, do you worry about some of the comments that J.D. Vance has been making lately about childless women and what it could mean for Trump's campaign?
I think the vice president quickly moves to behind the president. You know, lots of things people talk about. They try to make the vice president something, but the vice president's job is to strongly support the president of the United States. That's their job. Right?
So are you not then concerned about the speech he gave at the RNC, for example, which was very anti-Wall Street?
Well, I think he wants to bring, he wants the common people, right, the people on his neighborhood where he grew up to feel that they've got a voice in the White House, which I think is really important, right? And I think it will resonate with the people on Main Street. But the fact is, the only policy that's going to matter is by the President of the United States for both parties. Whoever they pick is a good running mate, is a smart person. They're a heartbeat away from the Oval Office, as we know. But, I mean, and Kamala was closer than most people.
That's true.
What's the Trump trade, in your view, as somebody who knows him?
I think the Trump trade is a broadening of the base, right? So what we've seen is this rally has been the Magnificent Seven, right? He's going to cut corporate taxes, which is a broad-based move. He's going to cut regulation, which is a broad-based move, and he's probably going to put on tariffs on China, which isn't good for the Magnificent Seven. So I think what you've got is a constraining of the Magnificent Seven and a pounding up of the rest of the market. So I think if you were going to do a trade, it would be long the broad base, right, against the Magnificent Seven, which is sort of the opposite of what we felt for the past year.